Welcome to the No Wrong Door podcast series brought to you by the Administration for Community Living. In this episode, we will focus on Medicaid administrative claiming, why it matters, and how to get started. This episode highlights what No Wrong Door services are eligible for Medicaid administrative claiming and the steps needed to get started. I'm Roger Auerbach, a member of the No Wrong Door Technical Assistance Team for over 15 years, and I'm joined by longtime beloved colleague this morning, Christina Neal Bowen. Welcome, Christina. And let me start off by asking you, what are the services that aging and disability agencies do today that would likely qualify for Medicaid administrative claiming?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Roger. So the services are basically anything that you're doing in the name of the Medicaid program. So, for example, you could be talking with someone about Medicaid in the context of an information and referral or person-centered counseling interaction. You could be helping someone apply for Medicaid by helping them gather the paperwork needed to make that application. And finally, you could be engaging in training about Medicaid, understanding the state eligibility rules and financial and functional eligibility. Or you could be having meetings with the Medicaid agency to help streamline the whole process as a system. So that's what's called program planning. So basically, those types of activities are eligible for Medicaid administrative claiming. And we feel they're activities that many ADRCs are doing now anyway.
Well, that sounds really terrific, but how do I start the process to be able to get this funding? It sounds really almost too good to be true.
Yeah, right. You don't want to leave money on the table, right? So, so in your state, it's likely that you have Medicaid administrative claiming happening. In other places besides the No Wrong Door, may even be happening with some of your No Wrong Door partners. For example, one area is school-based claiming. That's an area that you probably have some claiming in. But the first step would be to figure out who in your Medicaid agency does this and try to kind of understand a little bit of how it works, because Medicaid claiming is any activity that supports the efficiency or effectiveness of the Medicaid program. That's the broad definition. But the first step would be to find out kind of where it's happening now in your state. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
So let me ask you, you got to get approval from the Medicaid agency. So what are the most convincing arguments to get the Medicaid agency to actually support this type of funding?
Yes, that's exactly it, right? Because your Medicaid agency has to walk you through the process and they have to get all the ducks in a row to get it approved. But so basically, states have had success with an efficiency argument, so basically saying, well, if we help people get the applications prepared and they come to you complete, that's going to help with the efficiency of the eligibility process. So that's one argument that's worked. Other states have had kind of a diversion argument. So in helping people get set up with Medicaid, we're diverting them from more expensive institutional care. And so, as you discuss Medicaid as an option, you can also discuss other non-Medicaid services in the community that can prevent or delay institutionalization. But really, the most convincing argument or the most success we've seen with states is when this type of claiming is embedded into a larger conversation about No Wrong Door sustainability and systems change, where aging, disability, and Medicaid are working together to get an access system that works for people, right? So when all of those things are in harmony, then this is just another link in the puzzle of how to fund that and sustain it.
Yeah, it really makes it easier for the individual seeking information to be able to just go one place and to hear about all their options, including Medicaid.
That's it, exactly.
So if my state Medicaid agency agrees to support the funding, how does the process work? How how can I actually get that money? And are there any resources that you can point to actually help me be successful in this?
Absolutely, yeah. So probably your best resource is a guide that ACL and CMS worked on together in 2015, and it's posted on the CMS website. We'll link to it in the notes for this podcast. But that CMS guide really walks you through the process and gives you some sample codes that you can use to categorize the Medicaid related and time. And then from that guide, ACL developed a workbook with very specific tools for the process, and starting with a work plan, a sample work plan that you can use, a template, and then stakeholder presentations that you can use to kind of build your team at the local level and the state level, and then guidance on developing your own state-specific codes, a sample cost pool spreadsheet, and sample memoranda of understanding. So in addition to that, we also have on the tacommunity.com some state-developed resources. So if you want to get access to that, you can comment in the section under this podcast, or you can send an email to nowrongdoor@acl.hhs.gov to get access to the state-specific resources. But those are really good because you can see exactly what another state put together for their package for approval to CMS.
Well, I've looked through those actually, Christina, and it sure makes it a lot easier than starting from scratch with a blank board. So I'm glad you were able to talk about that with us this morning. So the Medicaid administrative claiming requires state money to get that 50-50 match from CMS. Where does the state share come from, and what funds can be used to match federal funds for that 50-50 match for claiming?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So it's an easy question. It can't be any other federal dollars. So it has to be state or local dollars to match that Medicaid federal share. So one tool that we have is that in the workbook and tools I just mentioned was a spreadsheet that kind of can help a local site look at where their different funding's coming from and get a better sense of what they could match with, and if they need to shift funds around to maximize their ability to match. But yeah, most of it's coming from state and local dollars. And so it's really about making the case that this is a worthwhile endeavor. And so another tool that we have is a business case toolkit, which we will also link to in the comments here for this podcast. But that can really help you make the argument for state or local funds to support what you're doing.
That's terrific. And let me ask you one last thing that I can think of. Are many states using this Medicaid administrative claiming to support their no wrong door systems?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we know of 17 states currently claiming for no wrong door ADRC activities, and about 12 other states trying to get it in place or in the planning stages or have a desire to set it up, and we've had initial conversations. So there may be others that we don't know about, but that's a ballpark. And we hope that many more will consider it as a sustainability strategy to build out their no wrong door system.
Well, that is terrific, Christina. And we've covered a lot of territory this morning. You've certainly referenced a lot of tools. I hope people will take advantage of looking at the tools that are posted, because it really makes this whole process a lot easier. So I want to say thank you again, Christina Neal Bowen, longtime colleague and expert. And just want to say thank you all for listening to what we had to say this morning. And thanks for the No Wrong Door team supporting ACL and Medicaid administrative claiming. Have a good day.